Watching this video, I realized we got to make some corrections. We did some things wrong. And so through this video, you're not going to see the correction, but I'm going to show you right now what it'll look like at the end of the video. For example, I could not invade Sumatra here. I brought them from Saigon because the Allies have units all in these hexes, so I couldn't get through and invade. There's no way to reach there. So this would be here at Saigon. This Marine, I used an SM to bring him down from Tokyo. So this one goes back, Tokyo. So that goes back, and I actually don't use one SM from the Navy, so Yamamoto will stay at a 1 on the board. Now, Tojo still gets used because what I do instead, since I'm not making this invasion, we still make the invasion here at Borneo, which costed 2 SMs. So we still do that. Everything else stays the same, except I thought this was too close for comfort at Peking. So to take the 1 Army SM from here that I used for this invasion, we're going to go ahead and take this Infantry 2 here, and we're going to shift it to Peking. So when the Peking battle started, it would actually have a garrison, the air, and this guy. We got to keep 3 there, just seeing how vulnerable that was. That was too close for comfort. So that's the only changes I've made. So instead of bringing a Marine here and instead of invading Sumatra, we moved an infantry into Peking. So when I went and did the bills, since Yamamoto was already at 1, I can spend 2 production points and put him at 2, and then I still spent 4 for here. So instead of spending 8 production points there, I would only spend 6 production points now. Because we lost the 2 production points, I didn't take Sumatra, so I don't get those 2. So remember, I spent 8 production points on building up my Supreme Headquarters. Well, now Yamamoto was left with 1 step because I didn't move that Marine, and I'll spend only 1 step on him. That's 2 production points, and I'll still spend 2 steps on Tojo for a total of 6 production points now and not 8. So everything works out that way. Oh, before we get started, I had moved an Air Force from Tokyo to here because I was thinking of other games where I can reinforce this Japanese area, but I changed that and I moved it out to Marcus Island. So you're going to see it here. Anyways, and I'm using the 2.7 rules, and I decided to take the Japanese headquarters and remove them from the board if I used all 4 steps, because it will matter in the logistics phase, and I'll show you when I get there. So they are off the board. Now the first thing that I notice playing the Americans, now remember I never played this game, is their Supreme Headquarters, all of them are at step 1, and the rules specifically say you cannot activate them on step 1. So, and in the rules 2.7, to move them, you have to activate them. Well, you have to use an SM, which is an activation. Otherwise, you can't move the headquarters. So there's not a lot of seaborne invasions going on with infantry, with the Allies this first turn. Secondly, another thing I'm finding, or I'm realizing as I'm looking at this, is Nimitz, if I want to resupply him, because Hawaii is a major base, it can only resupply up to 2 steps. So if I want to resupply Nimitz up to 2 steps, because you're going to want your Supreme Headquarters built up, then I can't resupply any other units around there. If the Japanese are going to come after Pearl, I need to be able to resupply the units there. So I see this as a problem. What I would like to do is get Nimitz off of here and like to San Francisco or something, and it's 2 steps there, and I can resupply Nimitz there and keep him going, and he can still command the entire front where this red line is. And then I can also resupply 2 steps worth in Hawaii. Now, the way the steps work, just logistically speaking, it almost seems better to build up your units while they're sitting in these islands and then SM them out. Because once you're out here, it's going to be rather difficult to resupply your units. Again, that's firsthand what I'm looking at here. So, now unfortunately on the first turn we cannot move Nimitz. So he's stuck there for the first turn. Secondly, he is a good piece to have here because if the Japanese want to invade Pearl Harbor, you're allowed to have 2 infantry here. So I can actually put another infantry on this. And you can also have Nimitz that can help defend the ground invasion because he doesn't count towards stacking limits. So you can have 2 infantry plus Nimitz and then an aircraft. So it can be pretty well defended here, making it, I would say, almost impossible for the Japanese to take Pearl if you do that. So moving Nimitz off of Pearl does weaken the defense a little, but I'm going to have to play that by ear because I want to be able to resupply not only Nimitz, but I want to resupply any units I have at Pearl. And then the only other thing to worry about is if the Japanese do come for Pearl, they don't have to invade it, they can just blockade it. When if Nimitz gets blockaded, then that's a problem. Now, as I'm looking at the American units, over in the Philippines I'm pinned, Celebes I'm pinned, and Borneo I'm pinned. So no American units moving here. And then in Singapore we're pinned. In Burma we're pinned. And that's it. So I'm going to start with the easiest movement right now, which to me is Australia. Seeing how we can't really go anywhere from Darwin, we have no Supreme Headquarters, we can't go anywhere from Port Moresby, and I like where those units are at, so let's just keep them there. So the easiest thing to do is shift up, double move. Remember, if you rebase, you can double move. I'm going to move an infantry to there, and I'm going to bring the cruiser with them, and I don't think I need anything on Sydney right now, and I'm going to go to Brisbane. So that was it. I mean, the Australians are done. Likewise, the British are going to be pretty easy. I can't help this battle at Burma because I'm not next to it. I think I want to leave. I think I'm going to put an infantry in Dhaka because we don't want the Japanese coming in any further. I'm going to take this guy from Bombay, move him here with Wavell. And I think Wavell is good where he's at in Calcutta. And then down here in Ceylon, I could bring this carrier and help out in this battle. Now, the question is, do I want to do that, or do I want to try to save these units and retreat and then have a bigger force over here, especially where I can defend better and spread the Japanese out a little bit? Because if he comes into play here, he can't attack till the second turn. By then I can already be down a piece or two here. It's almost be like a turkey shoot. So yes, we're going to keep him out and we're going to stay right there. And I guess that is it for this side. Now we'll come back to the Chinese, because the Chinese is the only one that I see that can do something. So my thinking on the Americans is this. I mean, naturally you would just want to rebase into Pearl, but it's only a step one. I want to build it up before I do that. The Japanese cannot attack Pearl this turn. He's going to have to make one move. So I still have one turn. So I think I'm going to leave the carrier here, and we're going to build him up 2 steps. And we got to build up Nimitz 2 steps there. And that's pretty much all I can do on turn 1. I can build up the fighter here 2 steps, build up this fighter another 2 steps, and I think we'll be good to go. We can build up this fighter. It's a major base, 2 steps. We can build up, this is a minor base. We can build it up 1 step. I think we're going to do that. Samoa, we have a 2 cruiser here. I want to stay 2 hex range from this, from either this force. I think he has some ships there. See, I'm already forgetting. And of course, a striking force. I think I like where the cruiser is. I mean, I really don't have no issues where anybody is. They're in good spots to defend. I'm just thinking about blocking. You know, I got a sub here, but you know, you can't block this or this because supply will come through one way or the other. You know, keeping these things spread out where I can use the huge American production points to step everybody up. I kind of like that idea. I think I'm just going to do that right now. I mean, I don't think I need to do anything here. I can't help in any of the battles, so let's just go back to the Chinese. Are the only ones that can really put some hurt on the Japanese, and we got to make them lose steps. Basically, this is our attrition. Now again, I really don't know how this is going to work, but I think we're going to put it to the test here. Now here, these are the People Republic's army. I can either go into this one or I can send one this way and help out that battle. I'm not really looking to take it all over yet. We just want to see what kind of damage we can do. Let's go into here. These they are major bases. That means it's going to take 2 steps to eliminate 1 step. But that's what we'll do. And I think we'll take the Flying Tiger here and assist in this battle. And I don't think I want to do the infantry here in case things go bad. I got to hold that. And that's a minor base, so you don't even get 2 steps there. So let's do that. Alright? And that will be the Allies' move. Now we go to attacks. And the attacks are done in the order of the player 1. Except for, let's do the raids first. So we are raiding here. And the way we have it set up, we have a 3 sub and a 3 sub, and they go against naval units 2 and 2. And I'm allowed to attack anything that's the same or a lower rating. And we have a B and a D, so we can go after both. So basically it's 6 dice. And it's 6 dice here, and I need 2s. And we got 2 hits. That's pretty normal out of that. I pick my target actually before I roll, and of course I'm going to pick the carrier. So we got 2 hits, and it takes double damage. The carrier is destroyed, and that unit would get to fire back. But since it can't, my raiders go back to their starting bases. And so that raid was successful in sinking a U.S. carrier. Now, since the Chinese hexes don't really matter, because this might matter who I want to fight first, because I don't want guys retreating, so let's deal with this one first. Those are Japanese. I'm a 2 and a 1, very weak. Chinese are a little stronger, but it's going to take 2 steps to eliminate 1. And the defender fires first. So the air unit fires first on ground. I need a 2 or less. Missed. This one is a garrison at 2, and it needs 1s. Missed. So we missed all the way around. Now the Chinese are going to take 2 dice, and they get 2, and then 3 dice at 2. And they got 1 hit. So we're going to take the strongest guy, which is the garrison, and we're going to move him halfway because remember, it takes 2 steps. So second round, we take the air again. I need a 2. And we take the garrison. And we get 2 dice, and we need 1s. Nothing. We go back to the Japanese. The Chinese. And again, they're going to get 5 dice. And they're at 2s. And they get another hit. So they just eliminated the garrison. And last and third round, we get an air unit. And we get a hit. But that is too close for my liking. So what this tells me right now is I need to go back to the drawing plans and not leave that so weak. So one Chinese is eliminated, and now this Chinese chooses to retreat. And now we go back to the air and he retreats. So he doesn't lose his half step, he survives. So we came out of this unscathed. So it almost means like this para needs to go here. This battle could have easily went to the Chinese way. I don't like this. I might have to do something here. We're going to have to change something here because that's too crazy of a first turn hit for the Chinese. Alright, let's move over to Burma. Burma, since he's a jungle, he's going to take 2 steps. So I have 2 aircraft. And I need to hit 2s. We missed. And then he will fire first. He has 2s. He needs 2s. Oh my gosh, he just got 2 hits. Knocked that infantry down. We have 2 dice, and I need 2s. Wow, nothing. Back to the air. 2s. We finally got a hit. So it's halved. He fires 2s. Wow, another hit. I get 1 dice. I need a 2. Got it. Down to a 1. The airplane comes in. He fires 2. Missed. The infantry fires 1. We need a 2. And he gets it. Well, I'm going to back out with him. He's an A. Well, we didn't get Burma, boys. So, one thing you got to remember, I moved the infantry from Hanoi to Siam. So, my infantry anyways, if he retreated from Burma, he cannot retreat into Siam because I have an infantry there. And it can only hold 1. So, he would be eliminated. So, this attack that I go into, I'm all in it for at least till I lose the infantry, and I'm ready to come back in with another one. The 1 infantry that I was showing you in the beginning that is in Saigon is not allowed. That's an extra infantry. We will remove it. Ending with this. Now there is a special rule on MacArthur. And the special rule is if the Japanese don't invade Manila and they just decide to blockade it, the Americans can eliminate MacArthur and he can be rebuilt in Australia after a 1-turn delay. And that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm not invading Manila. I'm just going to attack the shipping and blockade it. So the Americans will fire first. Of course, the ground units will not fire unless they're targeted. So the first thing that shoots the airplane for the Americans. And we are going to target, what do we want to target? Do we target air? Or do we target naval? You know what, I think I want to target the air. Let's get some of their air down here. So it's 2 dice. And we need 2s. And he gets a hit. No, this one goes to it too. Okay. You know, I'm going to start turning them around just so I don't get confused, because the top numbers are the ones we're using. Start getting a little confused. So there's 1 hit. So the Japanese have 2 A's. They're going to get 4 dice. 2 of them hit on 1 against air. No, 2 of them hit on 2. They both hit on 2s. So 4 dice. And we need 2s. We're going to target that air. And they all missed. His sub is B. Now the question is, do I want to retreat the sub or stay there? Submarine. Now the submarines are allowed to retreat through enemy units. And it's almost like this is just a losing cause here. And I think I want my sub to go through this contested hex in here. And let's try to regroup and save the units. So he's gone. And we're back at the naval units. The naval units are going to shoot at the aircraft. The submarine cannot. And he gets 2 dice, but he needs a 1. And he misses. Now we're back to here. We get 2 dice, and we need 2s. And we get a hit. We're targeting air again. Okay. Now it's my air. I get 3 dice, and I need 2s. And we got 3 of them. About time. American is down. Now at this point, I've only fought 2 rounds. I could have went a 3rd round and used the Navy to shore bombard the ground units in Manila. And then they would get to return fire because now I attacked them. But I don't think that's important right now. I don't have to do that because in the new rules of 2.7, when you go to check supply, if you are unsupplied, you will lose a step and you can be eliminated now. There's no more saving infantry units. Let's move to this one. We have the B and a D. We have 2 Ds. So the B is going to fire first. It's only a 1 step. But going after ships, it has a 3. 1 dice, we need a 3. And we got it. Destroyed the cruiser. And we're going to attack this sub. And the sub is a B. So the sub can stay and fight. Now you notice the new markers I have. It has an asterisk next to a 1 because until 1943 it'll actually give you a month. They don't attack naval units with 2. That's just representing the Americans. They didn't really work on their torpedoes. I don't know if you know that. In history, there was different strategies that the Americans pursued, different than the Japanese. The Japanese believed in getting torpedoes that would operate in low-level waters, that would destroy heavy battleships and cruisers, and they put all their research into torpedoes. And that's how they were able to even attack in Pearl Harbor. The Americans put all their research into searching. The Americans believed that the person who saw the opponent first was going to have a distinct advantage in the Pacific in the carrier battles. So anyways, there were 1. Question is, do I want to just stay here or retreat? And I think I'm good. And Borneo lands for another point. Anyways, we are going to now attack Singapore. It's almost like playing poker. You get your chips, you're playing them around. Okay, A, C, E. This is the order in which they'll fire. And here we have an A, C, D. Okay. So the question is here is A. Do you want to retreat or fight? It's a one-step plane. I'm thinking, well, we did survive in Burma. I can only retreat 1 hex. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a shot and see if we can't hurt this aircraft right here. I should go after that battleship. Yeah, let me target the battleship. The thing is, if I decide to target a battleship, the navies can now shoot back at my plane. If you don't target the battleships and you just target air, the Navy's not allowed to shoot at you. It's sort of like they're fighting, cap and interceptors way up in the air. The battleships aren't firing at their own fighters. So that's the way that works. So it's something to think about. And yeah, I think I'll stay away from the Navy. And let's just try to hit the Betty. 1 dice, need a 2.
Now, at the same token, with the Japanese aircraft, if I don't strike the battleship, then the battleship will retreat. I mean, I would retreat the battleship and try to join it up with the carrier over there in Ceylon. So, as a Japanese player, I want to get rid of this battleship.
And I need 3s or less. And we just hit it twice, so that sinks the battleship.
And then next, with the shipping all gone, no more enemy ships in the zone, I can now shore bombard. So that's what I'm going to do next here.
Shore bombard the infantry. And at shore bombardment, I get 2 dice at 2 or less. And we missed. Now it's A, B, C, D. It's the cruiser's turn. And a cruiser, yeah, we're going to bombard too. 2 dice. Or 3 dice. I need 2s. Wow, nothing. Second round. We come back to the air. The air's going to say, yeah, forget this. We're going after the battleship. I'm going to stay there and fight. Why not? He gets 1 dice and he needs a 2 or less. Oh, he just missed with a 3. The aircraft says, yeah, let's take care of the air. 3 dice on the air. I need 2s. And he missed. The battleship now is going to shore bombard the infantry again. 2 dice, and I need 3s. Wow, I'm not hitting anything. The cruiser this time is going to take its 3 dice, and we want to shoot at the air, but I need 1s. Nothing. Wow.
Now you see my reasoning for that. Pretty simple reasoning. I still have 1 more round. Therefore, if the air stays, the air is going to get to fire. So I'm going to try to shoot down the aircraft, and then he won't get to shoot with them, and then I'll get to shore bombard the infantry. So that's my thinking on that. Pretty simple reasoning there.
And we want that battleship. 2. He missed. Aircraft. We want that air. I need 2s. Got it. Battleship, 2 dice, 3 or less, and we got 1 hit. He goes to a half. The cruiser gets 3 dice at 2s. And we got 1 more hit, so he does go down to 1. And that is the 3rd battle round. Battle ends. But we will stay and blockade Singapore. The Betty can land even at a new port I took. The first turn is over, and I think we set out to accomplish everything we wanted to, except we lost 1 here in Burma. Didn't get it. So the first thing we do is we go to the supply phase. Anybody that is unsupplied You can't resupply them, obviously, and you're subject to a one-step loss. Now, according to the rules in 2.7, and possible elimination. So both these units are eliminated.
Yeah, both the units, ground units that are left on Manila, MacArthur is one step, and the infantry is one step. They're eliminated due to unsupply, being out of supply. The unit at Singapore is a one step, and it is also eliminated due to unsupply.
So after we determine that, losses from supply.
So now you determine production points. Now, in the Philippines, the production point does not go to the Japanese because in order for me to take control of a production area, I have to land units on it, and I have no ground units there. However, since it is unsupplied and blockaded, the Americans will not receive the production point for it. So the Americans do not start at 25, they're going to start at 24.
Points. And the first thing we need to do is we need to send 2 steps to here at Nimitz. So Nimitz will go to a 3 now. And then I can't build up anything else there. But remember, I wasn't worried about that too much. The 4 cruiser there, I think we're going to put it with the Pearl Harbor group. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, my bad. Okay, so we're going to build up Nimitz, and it's 2 points for each step. We're going to take them up 2 steps. So there's 4 production points. Cruiser's going to cost me, I can put 2 steps in this major base, so it's 2 more points. So that is 6. And then here I can build 4. And the battleship is going to be 3. But we have the money. It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for the Marine, we're going to go up 2 steps, but that Marine is going to cost them 2 points each. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. See, now they're built up, and I'm going to shift them in. We need to get the carrier up. I can do 2 at that base. Now I've used 14, I got 10 left. That carrier is going to cost me 4 a step, and I can do 2 there. So we're going to do 8. That's what I need. We can't mess around here with the Japanese. I got 1 step left. Nothing out here really. Well, let's do Midway's plane, 1 step. And I think we're looking good there. The only thing I could change is maybe not moving him up so much. Yeah, let's just go, let's leave them there, only 1. Okay, man, it's 2 production points for that Army Air, so that's it for the Americans. We're done. Now, I think we're going to spend 2 production points on Wavell and just move him 1 step. I don't think we need more than that with him, but you got to at least have it at a 2 or you can't even activate him. And then we need to produce some infantry strength here. Now, because this is in supply, we're going to add a strength point to this infantry. So that's 3, and it's a minor base, so it can only go 1 step. This one can only go 1 step. 4. I can do 1 step here because I only spent 1 on him. 5, 6. So everything here just went up a step, at least 1. I think these I went up 2 each because they're major bases. This one's only a minor base, so he only gets 1 step. Because I'd like to do that sub, but I think we need the power here. We got to deal with that stuff. The Chinese. They get 4 points. Well, we can do 2 steps here. Let's do it. 1. I want you to get that flying tiger back up. That's a Army Air Force. It's going to cost 2. And you can do a step. So there's 3. Full strength here. Kind of nice there. I like this little help out thing. I think we're going to make a change here in the movement. We really don't need this infantry at Calcutta. I think it's better to rebase them here, and that way, well, let's just put them here. That way I can move into this battle if he attacks that. That's a good move for that. Remember, I'm just learning. We're doing stuff best we can there. Okay. That's it. We go to the Japanese builds. The Japanese. Oh, Japanese. Now, for the Japanese, there's a lot of commitments, but what's most important? So first of all, the Japanese, we have to give them some Army and Navy Supreme Headquarters stuff back. And that's why we took them off the board, because to put them back on at step 1, that's 1 step and it costs 2 production points. If I want to move them up a step, production points, that's 4 production points for this 1 unit to come back on the board, and we're going to put them at Tokyo. And the same for this. So I just spent 8 production points bringing headquarters on at 2. Now, from the second turn on, I'm going to watch what I'm spending there or doing with the headquarters. But as far as that's done, we need some strength here. We're in supply. We're going to get him up to 4. So that's 9. The Marines are kind of expensive there right now. I think I need to concentrate on China, especially as he hit everybody. Let's send this guy by up to 10. Let's spend 1 there for 11. Let's spend 2 more here for 11, 12, 13. You can actually go 2 steps. 41, we're moving to March 42.